Hello fellow gaming minions. Now, I just want to make another vlog and just talk about, rather, express my little thoughts on where I think the future of gaming is heading. You know, while this thought came to me a while back, obviously it's probably been, the thoughts have been already been said because it's probably been done in cartoons or TV programs, maybe even movies themselves, you know, the ones that revolve around sort of the virtual aspects of what you can do regarding the internet and or the software, maybe even hardware, maybe to also to a degree, obviously the hardware. I believe that with the future of gaming, I think that the biggest breakthrough recently was actually the Oculus Rift and the PlayStation VR. Now, for years, all of us have been sitting at screens, playing our video games from our wonderful joysticks to our amazing, wonderful game pads, and then the Virtual Boy came into existence that gave you massive migraines more than a couple of pills after a good night out will do. Then, not too long after that, well, over quite a long while after the Virtual Boy was actually released, we actually got the virtual reality headset for the PlayStation 4. You know, so while a lot of us were playing video games that give us jump scares, the best sort of atmosphere for that was actually playing them at night. Depending on your fear spikes, obviously not all of us can play video games at night and actually manage those games. There are those of us that can, those of us that can't. Some of us have to play in the day and we still get scared. Usually have to put on our headphones and hear the surroundings. So with the breakthrough of the virtual reality, I still got to get myself one of those. I'm going to get myself one probably next year. I'm happy it's gone down in price because I didn't want to pay too much for it. You know, in case I might not enjoyed it, I probably would have, because that was my kind of thing. I like that, you know, being in the game itself. And that's where I think the future of gaming is going to go. I believe, greatly believe, that instead of sitting at our little gaming chairs or little armrests or whatever, right, I think that we're going to get an experience of gaming where we no longer have to sit down unless you're actually doing a driving game. So you can actually do that, you know what I mean? I believe that technology is going to be so digitalized and very sophisticated towards gaming. I don't know if I'm going to be brown bread by the time it comes out or if I'm going to be still alive. But the thing is, I have this vision, just like a lot of people in the gaming industry probably had many moons ago, that instead of just sitting there playing the game, you're going to be in it, literally in it. You're going to be walking around in it. In fact, allow me to sort of put it this way. You know the game The Sims? Just imagine that's you, online, anywhere around the world. Certain games allow you to do certain things, right? Let's just say, if instead of making your sim do this and that and do talking all that, like, you know, the sim language as they usually do. You know, if you play The Sims, you know what I'm on about. Instead of making them do that, talk to them do that. You know, instead of controlling a sim, you will be the sim yourself. You know, that's where I think the future of gaming's headed. I believe that for many years now, gaming has brought many gamers together. It's caused a lot of fights, broken controllers, smashed TVs. Yes, all this and that. It's got its ups and its downs. And it's those moments I find particularly hilarious as well. So we've got these simulation type games that you can make you use your hands. And I remember on the Kinect, or the Kinect, I've never had one, but I might get one. I don't know if it's still relevant to get. I can get it for a couple of quid on the Xbox 360. I might get it just to see its try. But I did try it out at family members of mine, and I actually thought, this is interesting. I played the Kinect for about half an hour, and I enjoyed that experience. So I enjoyed knowing that what I do with my body has an effect on the screen. See, another breakthrough with that one, sort of, was actually the Nintendo Wii. What I really appreciate about the Nintendo Wii console is the fact you're not just sitting on your backside. It wasn't just another Nintendo console. You actually got some sweat going on that one. I really enjoyed the Nintendo Wii because of what it tried to give us. A lot of people may say the Wii is one of the weakest consoles. I'm a bit in two minds about that. One of the ones that worked fine, in terms of it had free internet at least, pretty much beat the PlayStation and pretty much the Xbox One by any chance, and so was the PS3. But the Nintendo Wii, I'm happy to say that it was free to play online. I love that. And I love the fact it got you off your backside instead of just sitting there. So I actually probably did lose a bit of weight with that console. Along with that wonderful little board that the Wii came with. I can't forget what that's called. I love the concept of that as well. Gaming has leaped from what it used to be in the golden era of gaming. The platinum, golden, untouchable era. Now, I'm more than aware that gaming in the first 5 generations had its problems. I am not refuting that. I'm not even saying that they're all perfect. But this is the thing. When all those video games and consoles knew they had flaws, they knew they had things to work on. Right? They didn't try to be perfect. They just tried to be entertaining. And they very much was. If you wasn't a popular kid with one of these latest games or the latest sort of ZX Spectrum or the Commodore, the Amiga, or maybe even the Atari or something, then, you know, goodbye. I remember back in the days where you used to have a lot of mates come around, swap each other's games, and the good old-fashioned days of actually gaming. It was absolutely legendary and untouchable in my opinion. Whereas now these days gaming is, to an extent, has changed a bit. Just a bit. The concept is still the same. You can still play with others. It's just online. Obviously, as you go through life, some people exit your life, unfortunately, either through death or they just walk out your life and things like that. And then there's the other side of it. You've got where the future is heading with it. You see, what people are going through right now in certain communities of the game, as a gaming community as a whole, it's like these days you can't play an online game without coming across the YouTube trollers. You can't come across anyone who's sort of pretty much decent that you want to have a game with, which is kind of a backstab in my eyes. Because if, these companies are so serious about, doing something about it, they would have. With regards to the future of gaming, do I look forward to it? Yes and no. Okay, why do I not look forward to it? Because while all the fancy gadgetry may be amazing, even though it's not even been invented yet, it's probably yet to be experienced on a full spectrum scale. Right, my opinion might change if indeed I'm going to be alive when it comes out, but then I'll be too old to even care. And I'll remember this video too. So why do I feel that I'm not going to be interested in it? Well, because I was brought up in the 90s, right? I loved gaming back in the 90s. The N64, the PlayStation 1, Sega Mega Drive, and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Game Boy, and the Game Boy Color were my forte. Absolutely. And I loved the Sega Dreamcast as well. I'm putting that one in there, yes. Loved the Dreamcast. All those consoles were just golden. Yeah, I like them. I love them. Fight me. I don't give a care in the world, mate. The computer systems before that, going around in the 80s, yeah, they had their problems, like I said before. But hey, I want to get them. Those were when gaming was evolving to get better. Those were when the times where, even though there was a crash, gaming actually jumped back in. It doesn't matter who brought the gaming scene back. The fact is that it's still alive. So do I feel that the same gaming flair will be the same in the future? Well, at the moment, me, myself, I can only speak for myself, I'm not particularly enjoying it. All I'm sitting down and thinking is just, oh, these games are so, they just feel the same and they just feel boring. All I'm seeing today is more emphasis on what the machine can do, and I just don't find it impressive. I'm not blind to the fact there are good games out there. Don't get me wrong. In fact, some of you probably even think that when anyone says that about modern gaming. I'm not into modern gaming. If you want to hear their opinion why, and you still can't come to that conclusion that, okay, they have their own opinion, nah, he's just a hater or she's just a hater, get a grip of yourself. You see, and now, why am I looking forward to the future aspect of gaming? Well, it's an interesting concept to know, or to actually feel and think that gaming will no longer need controllers. Gaming won't even have to have that, plug in your headset or a big massive VR face mask, put on a bodysuit or something. You can go running, literally run on the spot, play these type of games. Whatever the sort of the gaming, if you want to do that on a first person shooter, you just do that and things like, you literally run around on the spot and just run, that type of thing. Or if you just want to sit there, do a bit of driving, pass your driving test, but you didn't have to do it really in real life, just save a bit of money, you know what I mean? There's many different ways gaming can evolve to the next level in terms of its technology. But for gaming as an evolvement in terms of its magnificent core mechanics of bringing gamers together, I felt that part is still going on, but for me the pinnacle was before the release of the 360 and the PlayStation 3. Now, obviously gaming came into online. Some people say the SNES, and some people say the Dreamcast, or some people say even before that. Right, because, after reading a few things, I don't believe that Dreamcast was the first console to have online features. I don't think it was. But for me, what it did have, though, was the ability to actually have access to it. I never knew how to do that when I was little. Then, speaking of online, I missed out on the PS2 and the Xbox Online. And there's one game I was particularly looking forward to playing online. It was very well advertised, and I felt so hurt when I couldn't get access to it. The future of gaming is going to be a mystery, but I miss the times of the arcades. I miss the times of just one person dominating that machine until he or she gets kicked off by another player, either by dumb luck or just by pure skill. I miss that. I miss the times of, giving physical copies to my cousins or my friends so we can borrow video games and stuff like that. That can still happen, but there's a little thing that humans do. We get older. Some of us get rid of our good old stuff. Some of us bury those memories in a shop just by getting rid of our old consoles and games. Things change, unfortunately. So with the future aspect of gaming, I think it's going to be more, as I said before at the early start of this video, it may be more sophisticated, revolving around the gaming core mechanics of trying to enjoy more games. You just won't need to sit down and touch. Controllers might not be existing. There's probably so many I don't know who's probably even working on this right now. So many different leaps gaming have done. They've even made attempts. And you can't deny the fact that gaming itself is actually changing, because it is. Some people say it's better. Some people say it's worse. Some people say it's boring. Some people say I can't be bothered. To those that say better, yeah, technology-wise, it is. Because while these games these days, with their magnificent, big, massive built machines, you can have 500 gig, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, bigger level design, which is great. It's, immersive gameplay is something that I actually enjoy personally. Immersiveness of the game. I couldn't care less of the graphics as long as it's immersive for me. There's a reason why a lot of us game is to escape from this bloody reality and get into the virtual one. To be honest, to an extent, I probably prefer the virtual one, to be honest. So, how do you feel that the future of gaming is going to look? I mean, this is just like my generic sort of thoughts about where I think it may go, where I think it may lead to. I didn't even have much thought of this. It's just like a thought that came to me a while ago, and I thought I'd express it. Some of the points I may make here may happen, they may not, or they probably already have done. If they have done, I've probably covered it, like the evolution leap with the Wii. The amazing thing that with the Wii U, we have touchpad and all that stylus pen, the DS, the Game Boy. I've left out the handhelds for a bit. The handhelds were absolutely amazing leap too. The fact we used to have little just Game & Watches, and now we've got Game Boys, DSs that are just, 3D involved. You see, gaming is taking a leap after leap after leap. Some might say it might even get us into a new War Games movie. I wouldn't mind a new War Games movie. I actually thought that movie was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed that. Someone who could get into the nuclear defense system just by, old school retro gaming. Awesome. But back then it was, their technology at the time. So, with regards to your views of the future of gaming, where do you see it heading? I'm actually interested in knowing what your views are. So for me, as I said, I don't mean to sound repetitive, some people don't like it when you say things over and over again, but I'm going to. It's my video, say whatever the hell I like. I feel that controllers won't need to exist anymore. If they do, then it'd probably be for like a virtual reality type game like we have in the PS4 right now. I feel that there's going to be a Xbox Kinect type of experience if you're going to play certain games, along with a jumping on the spot type experience where you won't need a controller. If you're going to do first person shooter, you can just hold something up like an actual gun to the TV or something, and you're going to be so immersed into a video game, right, that you may be even voice commanded. You may have to take pictures of yourself. There might be, facial scanners. It's going to be so... It might get to a point where you may think, well, we've leaped so far into the future at the moment. Goodness me. I think there's going to be all sorts of technology involved. Body scans, facial scans, eye recognition, all that. It's just going to be amazing. You may think it will be, you can make your own sort of avatar of yourself. You will be the avatar in the game you're playing. That type of thing. That's my views on it. That's where I think gaming is heading. We're going to be the avatars in the games that we either make or the games that we are in. And yeah, to an extent that might be scary, but just depends on how it goes. Because when you think about virtual reality, though, you're basically sitting there like as if you think you're on a roller coaster, or the jump scare games, the horror games, actually makes you feel like you're actually there. I think that's going to be everything that we've experienced in gaming now, tech-wise, is going to be amplified to a higher degree. So just remember, the future of gaming is a mystery because it's not just quite there yet, but I believe that it's on the trail to get there. In fact, we're not too far off because we've had we've been introduced to small little details of it, like the Kinect, the Wii, the Wii U. I'm surprised Nintendo have actually done it because, when I think about when Nintendo implemented the Wii, with motion control, Xbox 360 implemented the Kinect type of control, and obviously with iToy from the PS2, that was blooming brilliant. PlayStation went ahead to make the virtual reality on theirs, and the Oculus Rift, I believe, is for the PC. We've had tiny little things of it, little substances. Just think of that amplified to a much higher degree when it's all focused, when they all collide together. It's going to be scary. It's going to be amazing. It may be very, very invigoratingly. You know what? Everyone's going to lose their jobs. No one's going to be stopping off those games. In fact, you may be so immersed into the game, you may think, do I have another life? Where's my family? Where's my friends? Oh, hello, you're alright? Yeah, you're alright. And speaking to other people online, that'll be an amazing thing as well. Instead of just sending text messages, you literally walk up to them. It's like, you're right, mate. How you doing? Oh, you're from America. Oh, I see your emblem there. You're from America. Are you from the UK? You're right, mate. Yeah, governor. I watch the Jeremy Kyle show. Oh, do you? I don't talk about that show, man. You can speak to people from Japan or India or whatever country has these game consoles. There could be like speech translations in which you don't understand another tongue, any other language someone's speaking. You can just understand them, because the translations, or you can watch subtitles, or it'll just be translated for you. I don't know. This is what I mean. Gaming is taking a focus on steps at the moment, and I'm happy to say it has. But for me, the pinnacle of my enjoyment of gaming will be from the 1st to the 5th, well, 6th generation in gaming console history. Whether the future lies out is beyond me, right? It's beyond it's all up here. Just remember that. It's not really beyond any of us. It's just up here in our brains. Remember, all these ideas that came into invention in human history, who would have thought that sitting down, manipulating character pixels on screen would be as fun as it is? Not me. But I'm happy to say I've been a gamer for over 25 years and I've blooming loved every second of it. So, I'll ask you again. Where do you think gaming is actually heading? Do you believe that gaming is going to get worse in terms of technology? Because from what I've just discussed, that's where I think it's going to be heading. And while the idea may seem scary and fun or invigorating, thrilling, exciting, where do you think it's heading? I want to know your views. See, because this little subject, I don't know if many have even touched upon this, I don't know. But if they haven't, hopefully this video gets out there because I want to know people's opinions. So I'm going to be retreating. I don't need to go anywhere. I'm right here. I'm staying right here, fam. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm going to be tweeting this on Twitter to let other people know where I think the gaming is going. I think I've exhausted myself. I can't even speak English now. Anyway, you take good care of yourselves, fellow gaming minions. And for those of you that are interested in this video, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. I'm not going to ask you to like it. I'm not even going to ask you to comment. Kind of have though, but I want you to tell me your opinions. You can either tell me in a video response, I've not said that for ages, I do accept them, or you can tell me in a wonderful comment section. Maybe if this was sort of like in the future, if the internet is still around, being the government want a lot of that now, if the fact, I don't know if it's going to have to pay for the internet now these days, which is kind of stupid. I've paid a lot of it right here just to try and get connected. Ridiculous government, honestly. You want more of that? Typical. Take care of yourselves, fellow gaming minions, and may retro gaming live on always.